Hi, and welcome to the AI Mind Talks podcast, brought to you by HiBob, the all-in-one AI platform for HR, payroll, and finance, trusted by over 5,000 organizations worldwide. This show is all about enterprise AI transformation, the real story of our AI journey at HiBob. You'll hear from leaders and employees across the company, the wins, the roadblocks, and the lessons. If you're a leader, whether of a global company or a small team, and you want to drive AI transformation in your organization, this podcast is for you. Enjoy. Wow. Okay, guys, I just finished recording the episode with my CEO and the CEO and co-founder of HiBob, Ronni Zehavi, and it was super. Seriously, a lot of nuggets fell on the floor and waiting for you to be picked up. We talked about the manager role, the org change, the impact, and we had a super interesting discussion. Enjoy the episode. It's amazing. See you in the next one. Ronnie, welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm super excited for this one, to be honest. And the excitement just rose and got higher and higher as the time approached. I guess you also have a bit of excitement, right? It's also your second podcast.
Yeah, actually, the first one.
So, today we're going to talk a bit about the manager's role in AI transformation, org change, the skills, operating model, and of course, the impact. Before we're going to jump into it, I do want to say congrats. HiBob just celebrated 10 years, right?
Oh, yeah.
Super exciting.
Long journey.
A long journey. And I guess that in this long journey, so many achievements, so many hurdles, wins, lessons. And I think today we're going to focus on some of the lessons that we learned from this AI transformation that HiBob is going through. I'm going to jump into it. I met so many leaders in the past year and a half, heard a lot of content, read it. A lot of them are talking the talk when it comes to AI transformation. But when it comes to HiBob, and specifically yourself, with such a high conviction, you're walking the walk in the last year and a half. Why?
Yeah. It's the $1 trillion question, not even billion or a million for sure. We just celebrated our first decade, 10 years, and there is no better topic to think of when it comes to the following decade. So we are at the beginning of another 10 years, that's for sure. I've been in tech for more than 25 years. I've seen trends coming and taking off, and then correction, hypes and downs. But there's something really different in AI, and I know that whenever there was digital transformation, everybody said, "Yeah, it's different this time."
Yes.
And the reason why I think it's different, because to me, it's like getting electricity to homes maybe 200, 300 years ago. The impact of understanding what does it mean to be with or without electricity. I think AI brings the same experience, the same impact that, to the example I gave. So from just anecdotal, here's interesting technology, you should pay attention. And I do remember when was the first time I was introduced to AI. It was in 2023, to the moment that I realized that there's really something, a game-changing that we need to take into account. Nobody knew in the beginning of 24 what AI would bring. I don't think so. I don't think that today, when we are getting into the 2026, people really knows exactly where we're heading. But for sure, it's something different. So from my perspective, when it comes to the company, I think it starts with the management and the leadership. And if we can share with our audience the journey that we manage to roll out since to the beginning of 24 to where we are right now, I think was the realization that if it's really differentiator and if it changes the way we think, then let's try and experiment that. So we started the journey by the AI day for the entire company. There was a lot of preparations before, coming from our OD team, the business technology team, HR, and my direct reports, my C-suite, basically posing and allowing everyone to understand what does it mean. We invited experts from outside to give lectures, and we try to convince people you should try it. It's the ultimate experiment you can get in your career. And I do remember myself when I was talking to the team, either in all hands or like a face-to-face discussion. I said, um, the company is giving you a gift in a way because we allow you to learn, to experiment something that we are sure that will be part of your career. So the idea was to embrace everyone to try it, and by making this first move, I think we managed to deal with a lot of objections, embedded objections that basically comes from something new and uncertainty.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
from a question, what will happen to my job?
The classic
And
question. Yeah.
am I cutting the branch of in the tree that I'm sitting on or not? To understand that maybe there is something more interesting for you. And so the experimentation was something that we began with, but the main notion was something that I remember me telling the team. It was my first slide in the all hands meeting that basically said AI is not going to take people's job. Humans who know AI will. So in a way, we were encouraging people in the company to say, you have to try it. It's good for you. You're investing in your career there, and we allow you to do so because in the future, if you will not be able to have these capabilities, and we'll talk more about the capabilities,
Yeah.
you'll be left behind.
That's so interesting, and the slide that you open with in the all hands, I remember it, and it became kind of the north star and like among the employees and HiBob. And I think you mentioned here just a few departments and people that need to come under the umbrella to make it happen, and it truly takes a village, to shift something like that. And it's amazing to see the conviction that you have behind it because, and we're going to talk about it, right? Like, while you have this conviction and you're pushing the company towards this AI transformation, there is still no dollar sign on what's coming back. It's a lot of dollars coming out. So it requires a lot of conviction in the idea and potential of that technology, which is stunning.
But Ori, entrepreneurship, it's all about number one being optimistic
For
about the
sure.
future, and number two is you have to deal with uncertainties, and you have to try. Otherwise, if you stand still, then somebody will come and disrupt you. And I think for our business, and I think for the values of HiBob as a company, because one of our values is build the exceptional. To me, making the step forward when it comes to AI was, for me, was building the exceptional. And if we go back to the journey, it was not only about introducing AI to the team. The following session I had with my C-suite was, let's get together and let's try. The exercise I gave to my C-suite was, go to your team and come back with 10 topics or 10 challenges you have when it comes to ongoing operations. And the second exercise was try to prioritize
Right.
those topics between the ones that are really bottlenecks, real bottlenecks, to the ones that are nice to have. And then in parallel to that, and this is how I was introduced to you and Alon and the rest of the team, was okay. Now we need experts. We need people that really understand the drill here. To not only to no, I mean, it's not only about hiring them, but also building the trust between them and the entire team, so they can be the AI mind, the AI ambassadors within the departments. And it was a fantastic exercise because at the end of the exercise, we were able to map the critical workflows and the critical operational bottlenecks that we want as a business to solve. We were not like going blind, and there's a nice expression that prompt and spray, kind of okay, let's see what's happening. We were very focused on specific area that we wanted to solve. We did not solve all of them,
For sure, we
and
still
I
have a
think we
way.
realized that some of them are really complex ones, but we moved the needle, and we were able to convince not only the entire village but also the leaders to trust the process and to collaborate with our AI ambassadors, and the results were amazing. You deserve a huge credit, and the rest of the team. The recognition we got from OpenAI about a month ago,
Yeah.
the press release that basically pointed out HiBob as one of the leading companies in, I think I checked, they did only 9 press releases
Right.
on that
Right.
topic, and to be included was it means a lot to us, not only because of the press coverage, but also a recognition that we really take it seriously, and we are moving the needle.
And in the right way, in a way, right? Because when you're leading something, a lot of times, as you said, there is so much uncertainty. Sometimes you need those light bulbs that says, okay, you're doing something right, continue in the past. So that's super powerful. You talked a bit about the managers, right? Defining the workflows and kind of like putting the fingers on the places inside the workflows that they believe AI could transform and impact on. Um, I think we were in a world where a manager had his goals, his KPIs, and he defined the workflow. And then basically there were employees running that workflow. And for the simplicity, we're going to talk on AI agents, okay, that
Mhm.
are also taking part now in those workflows. And I think something interesting to discuss is in a world where we have employees and AI agents working together, and we have the manager on top. What's the contract between the agents and the manager in terms of accountability on the outcomes, on the process? There are a lot of dystopian questions of
Mhm.
like who is the one that I should talk with if things are wrong? Should I blame the AI? Should I blame the employee? Is there a hard line between those two? I think this is something that super intriguing.
Yeah. So uh, I think we both agree it's a revolutionary
No doubt.
era for us. I think there is a very simple formula that we have to agree upon. Um, the number one component is AR is here to stay. There's no doubt. It's a fact. It's everywhere. We see the investment, the VC money comes into the space, the progress that companies in different domains are making. So I think this is the first one. The second element in the formula is that AI and humans will work together. In fact, a agent will augment the way people work. Um, that's the second component. The
Mm-hmm.
third one um, is basically that when you think about AI and you think about what AI brings to the table, you can argue whether you can do more with less, you can do more with the same, or you can do more with more. But the common denominator is you will do
You
more.
will do more.
So,
Yeah.
so the expectation that since you're using an X factor that AI brings to the table, you expect to do more, and when you expect to do more, it should have results in your productivity and the impact you are making as an individual, as a team, as a company, as an industry. Um, and when you think about from if you go back to the formula, when you think about productivity, when you think about impact, we believe that it starts and it will end with managers. At the end of the day, the managers are the change agents
Mm-hmm.
for any transformation, and by far this the AI transformation. Why the managers? Because they are the ones who has to they are the ones that has to translate and to be able to explain to the team members what does it mean augmenting the way you work. What do you do with the extra time you gain? I'll give an example from HiBob. After the AI day in beginning of 24, I got a phone call from our head of a media and press relation with she's based in London.
Mm-hmm.
She does surveys with open questions and closed questions. Usually, a survey takes 10 hours to analyze. She played with the agent the company allowed to play with, and she called me and say, instead of doing it in 10 hours, I managed to do it in 11 seconds. Now, here's the dilemma. First of all, kudos to her because that's exactly what we wanted to do. But second, here's a manager dilemma.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do with the extra 10 hours or 9 point something hours
Yeah.
that you managed to save? Do you intend to, go home early and take a day off? Can you do more? If you in the past you were able to do only, I don't know, 5 surveys a month or a week, now you can do 5 surveys an hour, right? So somebody has to translate. Somebody has to be the moderator between the capability of this amazing technology to the reality, and it goes back to the managers. The reason she reached out to me uh, was just because she did it day or 2 days after the AI day. So she was really blown away by the fact of the impact. So to me, the managers are the key persona. In general, you join companies, you live because of your managers. This famous saying,
Yeah. Yeah.
and more specifically with AI. Now, while we keep talking about how we prepared ourselves internally as organization, HiBob also is a platform, Bob, that was built to help organization become modern and do transformation in general. And we believe that AI is the ultimate transformation. So what we are building in Bob in our platform, we have a solid roadmap that we rely on the AI capabilities, where we'll allow our customers and the users of our platform, employees, line managers, all the way up to HR, CFO, and CEO,
Mm-hmm.
to enjoy the benefit of this amazing technology. And when you think about an era of the debate right now is how long it will take.
Yeah.
Is it 10 years,
One
6 years,
year.
or a year?
Yeah.
I believe it will take longer than everybody assumes today, because it's very complex. And at the end of the day, it's not only a technological change, it's a culture
It's a
change.
people
It-
change.
It's it's completely transformation of the way managers, employees, and the way they behave. And so when you asked before what companies can do with AI, so there's like dozens of scenarios that companies will have to take into account when they think about the formula I mentioned before.
Yeah.
Humans and agents are working together from budgeting perspective. You plan your 2026 budget, right? And you want to fill a position. Are you hiring human? You expect the human and agent to do the job, or it's completely transformative, and you expect agent to do the job. It has impact on your cost. It has impact on how you run it as a business. So hiring and planning is a big issue. Job architecture is
For
completely
sure.
different than before. Skills. So I think we are at the beginning of a change. My personal opinion that it will take time, uh, but there is no doubt that the impact. I think we can't even imagine how organization will look like in the future. There's a nice anecdote that I think works in our favor as a business, um, and it's about the size of companies. I think in the future, companies will be smaller and leaner than ever before. We are living in an era that it's the end of large corporations. Companies will be smaller. You don't need thousands or tens of thousands of employees. And why I really like this change, because HiBob was really built for
Exactly. For
companies that can take you from being
yeah.
25 employees all the way to whatever 5k 10k. That's exactly our sweet spot.
Sweet.
And our responsibility right now is to make sure that we know how to um, aim, aim allow our customers to enjoying the AI tools that we are building for them.
Yeah, definitely. I think also, like when we as you said, started the journey very early on, we realized that, and this is also what HiBobs believe in, that people first, and it doesn't change when it comes to AI transformation. And change is great until it hits your plate, usually. So it takes time, and it requires patience. But just, is it fair, like, to summarize and say that the contract, let's say, between the manager and the AI agent, is that the manager is still accountable for the outcomes, and the agents are maybe accountable for the execution of a specific process? Is it something that you can agree with?
Absolutely. I see agent complementing or augmenting humans at the end of the day when it comes to responsibilities and
Mm,
outcome. It's all about the humans. I'm not saying that there will not be agentic agents that will do everything, A to Z, full automation. For example, time off. There are a set of rules that are applicable in every country. Counting or managing time off, that's something that an agent can do
yeah.
for companies. But when it comes to the more, I would say, subjective and things that are related to a experience and engagement, I think it is less clear how an agent can really replace a manager. I truly believe in the co-pilot concept.
Yeah.
We want to build, we want to empower managers. We want to make sure that we give them the tools they need to become much better managers
Mhm.
by collecting insights and allowing them to make the right decisions. And we have a very clear vision about how we want to help managers become super
Yeah.
managers. But at the end of the day, humans, managers, from the CEO all the way down to the line managers, they would have the ownership and the responsibility for everything they build.
So it kind of sets the stage for the next topic that I want to discuss, right? So it feels like managers should learn new skill set, basically, right? If until now they were just responsible to manage employees to achieve their KPIs, OKRs, now they have this new type of workforce, and you know we have today in HiBob 1,600 employees in HiBob, right? And I think one of our main focuses this year was the upskilling of those employees. What's your take on that? Like, I think everyone is asking this question.
Yeah, again, it's a journey. It doesn't happen overnight. But let's choose a department, whether it's marketing, development, product management. Let's take engineering.
Mm-hmm.
And so the vision of I go back to the formula. AI is here to stay, no doubt. I think
Mm-hmm.
every engineering organization in any any modern company, they understand, why it is important. I think the expectation of doing more. I'll give an example from our engineering team. When I have a dialogue with our CTO and our VP of engineering, the dialogue is that we expect our engineering team in 2026 to do 5x more than they did in 2025. So the expectation is that they will do more. Now, in order to do more, then the entire job architecture is different.
Mm-hmm.
It requires different skill set that did not exist before when those people were hired. Now, um, I think the challenge and the opportunity for companies is to help, in this case, developers and team leaders to do the transformation. So it's all about educating them. It's all about investing in their career development, so they will know how to use it. But also they will know they will be directed to the high expectation we have or other companies around productivity and around impact. So the job architecture is different. The skills that are needed will be different, and they have to be rewritten by managers. And the challenge is that you have to do it while the entire organization, board of directors, management, expect you to do the transformation mass far. I think there is
And the work still exists, right? Like that you're running to.
exactly. I mean, in every board meeting and in every management session, right? The discussion is, okay, what are you doing with AI?
Yeah.
Okay, when do we see a productivity improvement? Can you do more? Or why you're not doing more? This is the kind of expectation, I think, for a reason, but without the right process and understanding the impact across the organization. And it starts again with a culture change. Without the buy-in from the leadership, without them leading by example, without them prioritizing what they want to do, without investing in AI, it costs money, but also directing the company about what are the expectations from it. You work for an amazing team in my organization, that your job is to amplify and to be a successful ambassadors in driving the AI agenda. So you work closely with a marketing team, and you work closely with a customer success team and finance team to help them identify the bottlenecks, but also help them build the agent. I think our statistics that we have 2,500 agents
Yes.
that were built bottom up, and about 300 agents that were built top down.
Mm-hmm.
And I see the synergies between the bottom up and the top down, and the expectation to do more. And I can tell you that I already see that the company is doing more. My vision is that if we can freeze the new hires that we aim to hire in the next coming years, because we were able to do more, and we did a good job in the AI transformation, and we managed the culture change. I think we'll be in a position that will have a much stronger story to tell the market when we go public, hopefully in 27.
Hopefully, yes. Oni, I want a bit to ask a tough question, if that's fine. Um, you're talking about upskill, and as a manager, if everything goes in the right direction, that's great. But do you believe that everyone will be able to do that upskill, or like every revolution, there will be those who will have hard time with that? And as a manager, like like
Yeah,
what would you advise on
it's
that?
it's a it's amazing. It's amazing question. I start maybe one step earlier. For sure, there will be professions and positions that will be eliminated, no doubt. It happened in the past, and it will happen again when it comes to AI transformation. So things like positions like related to content writing, and in marketing and in help desk, they will be irrelevant in the future.
Yes.
Engineering, I think companies will have way less engineers than in the past years, because you will have an experts, a team leaders that will know how to manage an environment where engineers and agent work will work together.
Yes. Produce
Um,
more.
so there will be position that will be eliminated. There will be way more position that will be reopened. It happened in the past. History doesn't lie. We have to listen about the impact, and I hear all the time. Bots will take everyone's job. Everybody will work. And there will be people will
Yeah.
not work.
An utopian
Governments,
world,
yeah,
yeah,
governments
where
will pay
everyone.
everyone. Good luck with this thought.
Yeah.
I don't think it's realistic. And then when it comes to the ones who are in organization, um, I think it's really straightforward, and it's a message to every employee, and I will include juniors or students who are about to graduate, and they are entering their career journey.
Yeah.
Um, um, Go back to the formula again. It's here to stay. You have to know how to use it. You have to invest as an individual in getting those skills. You have to manage the uncertainty. The embedded threats and concerns that you may have as individual. No doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the company responsibility to make sure that you allow people to do the transformation. Now, if somebody and it's a real use case in our company, if there's an individual in the company that realize that using AI tools will eliminate his job, and therefore he's not using the AI as expected, uh, this is something that against our value and against what we try to do. So there will be no room
Mm-hmm.
for the ones that will not be part of the transformation. Again, it's the responsibility of the company and the individual to do it. But at the end of the day, we expect everyone to do the transformation, and we expect the company to perform better. We
More.
expect ourselves to do more. We expect to see an impact, return on investment
Mm-hmm.
on what we are embedding in the way we work. And on the other side, we are investing a lot in building more AI functionalities in our platform, to allow our customers and allow them to benefit from what AI brings to the table. I was on stage about a month ago in Dreamforce in San Francisco, and we're invited to present our vision about how AI will impact the way people work. And we decided to present something that was really simple, but it was very complex to get to that point. We believe in three tiers. The main tier is what every system of record brings to the table by the fact that you are either running customer data or people's data or finance data, ERP, CRM, HCM. We are in the HCM space, so we
Right.
have the people data, we have the organizational graphs, and we truly believe that we sit on a gold mine because this data is so important. And on top of that, we already in a process of building agentic capabilities within our platform. So because we have a west to east platform,
Mm-hmm.
and the platform is built on north-south modules, a hiring, learning, onboarding, payroll, whatsoever. So we are embedding agentic capabilities in
Inside.
a north to south capabilities, agents, not agent, that will help any user of our platform to do a much better job, be proactive and be alerted. But it's still under the umbrella of our HCM cloud, what we can do as a business. However, we have a much, I would say, a strong and visionary thing. We what we have presented in Dreamforce, that we went beyond our boundaries. So we are collecting transactional data from other systems. And specifically, what we did with Salesforce, we collected the sales data that comes from the CRM, and people's data, and we empowered the manager. In this case, it was a sales manager in Europe to get insights and data that comes from the Salesforce and comes from Bob, and we build on top of it a semantic layer that allows us to help give the context of the question, because this is a major challenge, and
Yeah.
we have to normalize the data
Yeah.
on both
This
sides.
is the fuel.
And the results were amazing because in this use case, a manager can prompt the agent and get insights about the team, about the combination of data that sits in Salesforce, for example, attainment, pipeline, etc., and people data. And only when you fuse the data, you get the option, or you get the I would say the opportunity to have a real companion, a real co-pilot
That
that will
helps
allow
you.
you to be a super manager in this use case.
Yeah, that will help you do more with more at the end of the
Exactly.
day. Yeah. So basically when we're talking on the, like, if I'm summing it up, we're looking at, on the one hand, there will be employees that will have a hard time to do upskill, but on the other hand, as you said, it's an opportunity for new type of people that could adjust to those upskilling very fast. So it's kind of like a cycle situation. Definitely a super interesting time to live in. Um, the last topic I want to touch on, which I think
Remember, I need to surprise you with the question. So
I'm
allow
trying,
me. Yeah.
I'm trying to push it. So
Okay.
you wanna throw it out right now? Let's
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Okay. I'm
I think
nervous, Ronnie.
it's totally related to our
Yeah.
conversation. Um, I think the audience will be very interested in knowing what is the experience of being an ambassador, or being the AI expert. And you have a very interesting journey with the company. So what did you experience as a AI ambassador with AI experts when you have to convince in some cases, or the door was open and people were like just waiting for your insights?
That's a very good question, Ronnie. Now I think maybe we should have switched. I think that you're doing it better than me. Um,
But you are in the trenches.
yeah. Um, to be honest, what helped a lot is, as I said, you must have a top-down conviction starting from you, and I think this was something that kind of we had this North Star that you always put it for us, and every time it would push a bit further. And by that I mean, when we started the journey, I think you held us into a North Star of like the impact. The translation for the word impact is the mindset. Like, and I remember we had several talks on that, and you said, "Listen, guys, I don't want to talk about value, like dollar value or adoption at this stage. Let's aim for the mindset. Let's aim for the hearts of the people." So it kind of like put the mission in a very clear path and a very soft one to start with. So that was the beginning. And I remember that we did a lot of activities around people, around the processes, around the technology that were all aimed for that goal. And when we came to that with you, we got claps. And I remember that a month after, when we came to you again with that, we didn't get the claps. And you told us, listen, guys, that's great. That was our North Star so far, right? Now, I want to change the North Star. Let's push it further and let's start to talk about adoption. And you said, I remember this sentence got with me and with Alon, my manager. He said, "Listen, guys, like you're making amazing dishes. That's great, but you need to make sure that people are eating from them." And this is where adoption comes into play. And suddenly, this became our North Star. Okay, so let's not yet talk about the dollar value, but let's see that people are actually using it, are actually
Mm-hmm.
engaging with it, whether it starting from people coming with ideas
Mm-hmm.
for building agents up to people that are using agents and advocating it to
The bottom up
the
and the top
bottom
down.
up and the top down.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And again, it's coming back to your question that was so clarifying and allowed us to very operate in with clear conviction, on how to execute. um, so that was great. And then we came back to you with that,
A
right?
few weeks ago,
Yeah.
and we changed gears
And
again.
it changed again. And now, like, okay, guys,
What's the
that's
impact?
great. Now, what's the impact? Now, let's talk about the dollar value. And I think it's fair to say that we are heads on looking at this challenge right now. So we have a lot of thoughts on how to do it, and we already started to take actions. But I guess that would be in the fifth episode. We can talk about what we learned on that. So to summarize the answer, I think the trenches were very low, so we could look above all the time because we always knew where we're heading, and it was gradually built.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so important. I don't believe we
Exactly.
could hit the second or the third milestone without going through the
Yes.
first one.
That's why we were talking about a culture change, and get the buy-in from the management team, and lead by example. There's no, like anything in life, there are no
No
shortcuts.
shortcuts. No. I heard you started to play paddle, right?
Yes.
And I'm also playing paddle. By the way, this sentence also works great for paddle. Try it.
Yes.
There is no shortcuts to win the game.
The timing is perfect because I was injured 2 days ago, and
Really?
I have to pause.
Okay. So be well. Ronnie, we're finishing every episode with a 60 seconds lighting question round. And I
Sure.
also have a surprise for you.
Cool.
Okay. And the surprise is that AI just listened to our entire podcast. Okay. And he will be the one shooting out the questions.
Wow.
Okay. That I will be reading to you. Before we'll do it, I want to thank you very, very, very much for this episode. I think people are so interested to hear on our journey and what we're doing, and it feels like We had the opportunity to plug in a bit to your brain and get your perspective on it. And the amount of nuggets that fell out here, just for our listeners to pick them up and start operate. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It
You're
was your
welcome.
idea.
Yeah. It was my idea, and let's hope that we'll have more out of it. Okay, so we'll start. I'm gonna put a stopper of 60 seconds.
So if I say in my answers, I buy time.
Go for it, but rather just shoot. Shoot what
Cool.
comes out to your head. Let me open the agent. Summarize.
Now I'm curious.
Okay. I'm curious also. I don't know what's gonna come up. Okay. When I say enterprise AI transformation, what's the first word that comes to mind?
Management buy-in.
One book, podcast, thinker shaping your AI view right now.
I have many of them, but to me, listening to the team leaders and employees in the company about their experience, I think this is the ultimate feedback I can get.
One sentence you say to employee to motivate them to disrupt their own role without fear of replacement.
AI is not here to replace or to take your job. AI is here to reinvent the way you work.
Your favorite low-key AI habit you use daily?
Wow. I'm a very curious individual. So I'll give an example. I woke up the day of the election in New York, and everybody used the Big Apple, and I was curious what Big Apple means. My connotation was the Beatles or Apple,
Yeah, I
but
would go for
but
that.
it was not that. It was about horse betting in New York, and that was the big prize that you can get, and Big Apple was named on that. So I was curious to hear about that,
That's
and I
interesting.
woke up in the morning, and that was immediately the answer I got.
Okay.
So it's in the flow of my life.
Yeah. Okay, lead by example. And the last question, if I gave you a magic whiteboard and every CEO saw it tomorrow, what sentence about AI transformation would you write?
It's the formula. It's here to stay. The expectation is to do more. When you do more, you have to think really carefully about the impact, and the ultimate ambassadors for your success are the managers.
Thank you very much, Ronni. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Ori.